Hello, everyone. I hope we are live. I'm just going to check on my phone. And here we are. Hi. How are you today? How is your heart today that we are going to merge into the mind in this transmission of healing and awakening? How is your heart today? Now, as we allow everyone to jump onto the YouTube live, let's just take a few moments to ground ourselves in stillness. Now, one of the beautiful things about stillness is that safety is intrinsic within it, meaning each time we are able to find stillness, we are entering a moment of safety. Oops. And we are transmuting, apologies, there's things happening on my computer. And we are transmuting and transforming any degree of unsafety that is still present in our body. And so I welcome you into the stillness of true safety, into the stillness of your true immortality, where it's not a matter of trying to be still, but opening up to the stillness that is already here. Now, before we start merging the heart and the mind, I want to say as a reminder that in a few days, this Sunday, there is a healing event that you can join, and I will be overjoyed to connect with you there. You can find the registration in the description of this video, I believe, or my website. And I cannot wait to connect with everyone there. It's going to be quite epic. So please register. It's going to be very wonderful. Anyway, merging the mind and the heart, the unity of the mind and the heart, which is also the marriage of the feminine and the masculine, because the feminine is the energy of the heart, the masculine is the energy of the mind, and we need both in order to be whole, healed, and complete. We need the qualities of the masculine while also needing the qualities of the feminine, where the feminine is, of course, the compassion that we all need, but it is also the question of how. How will I move through my life? How will I interact with others? How will I embody my highest soul's potential? How? Meaning, which values and qualities will I commit to as I move through time and space? That is the feminine. And the masculine is the question of what? What will I do? What will I do with my time? What will I do with my life or in my life? What will I open myself up to? What will I share with others? What will I pursue, seek, go after? What are my goals? And we have the enlightened what, the awakened how, and there lies the unity of the mind and the heart, fully embodied in human form. Now, one of the imbalances that we oftentimes have within the dance of the feminine and the masculine is the seeming polarity between discipline and consistency and compassion. And we usually find ourselves on one of two spectrums or extremes. One extreme is that we are able to embrace self-discipline at the expense of compassion. And so we are approaching consistency and self-discipline from a self-hatred. And then we get into all these weird patterns where we are perhaps doing all we set out to do, but we are hating ourselves and punishing ourselves in the process. The other extreme is being overly permissive without having the appropriate commitment and boundaries to actually see through whatever we have set out to do. And so we need both compassion and discipline, where the overly permissive heart is the ungrounded feminine, and the overly punishing disciplinary is the wounded feminine. Now, as we bring the mind and the heart into a sacred union, what we come to find, that true discipline actually doesn't exist outside of self-compassion. And true compassion cannot function or sustain itself without consistency and commitment. And so, may I be as compassionate as I am committed is the mantra of unity consciousness. May I be as compassionate as I am committed. When you forget to be compassionate but you still commit, we are overcommitted. When we don't commit and are trying to be compassionate, we are ungrounded. But for a full wholeness that your soul wishes to express, we find the ability to commit while holding loving and compassionate space for all of ourselves. Now, as we are bringing the mind and heart together, let us have a little bit of a ceremony, shall we? Because the heart and the mind enter a sacred union, which is not unlike a marriage. And I've actually had the experience several times in my life where the masculine within me, or the mind energy, would, in tears, surrender itself and completely give itself over into the innocence of the feminine. It's usually with the words of, I am yours. I'm done trying to fight imaginary enemies or run away from imagined adversity. I am yours. I hand myself over to you, my beloved. Now, we typically see these things happen on the outside. Maybe you've seen this in your life. Maybe you've seen this in a rom-com. I am yours, always and forever, never leaving your side. Now, the true declaration of that is actually the declaration within. It is the declaration of the mind to the heart, of the masculine to the feminine. And the feminine in return says, I receive you, beloved. So that's the dance. The masculine says, I am yours, now and forever. And the feminine says, I receive you fully, beloved. Now, what you may also notice is that as we embrace this practice of receiving the mind and surrendering into the heart, what starts opening up is your throat, which is really the bridge between the mind and the heart. And so if you want to feel comfortable sharing your truth in a vulnerable way, simply hand yourself over into the heart and receive the mind through the heart. Because until we do this, until we hand the mind over, we are in some way overdoing it. We are either overdoing it with our pursuit of what, and we abandon the heart in the process, perhaps even trying to protect it from the pain that is more inside our body rather than on the outside in our environment. Or we are floating about in an ungrounded state, while failing to commit to anything and having trouble to see through whatever we wish to do. But I don't want you to be non-committal because you deserve far better. And I don't want you to abandon the innocence of your heart because you deserve far better. You deserve the union of the mind and the heart. And so, in the name of merging the mind and the heart, please say this healing mantra out loud with me. I allow the what of the mind, the goals and the pursuits, to be surrendered into the feminine innocence of the heart. And I allow my heart to receive my mind as its beautiful beloved, as they hold hands and merge into divine union that I was destined to embody and radiate and transmit for the well-being of all, for the coming together of my mind and the heart is equal the resolution of all conflict within me and all conflict on this planet. And so, in the name of ending all conflicts and wars on planet Earth, may my mind be fully surrendered into my heart, and may my heart fully receive the glory of my awakened mind. I can lead with the heart and always use the discerning wisdom of the mind that will allow me to distinguish who I want to spend my time with and what situations and environments I wish to enter. May my mind and heart unite together as one for the well-being of all. And so it is. And just feel into that. Feel into what we just did. I can feel the heart opening up. I can feel the bridge between the mind and the heart, the throat, clearing out. And I can feel the mind expanding. As if the unity of the heart and the mind was one tale of infinite expansion, love, and growth. And I think what's interesting about some old spiritual teachings is that they always tell you to get out of your mind into your heart. And while there can be certain value in teachings like that, particularly in the beginning of your spiritual and healing journey, where perhaps we are learning not to overthink things and lead with the intuitive nature of the heart. I don't think it's a matter of getting out of the mind and into the heart. I think it's a matter of celebrating the union of the two. Celebrating the sacred soulmate relationship between the mind and the heart that has always existed. It's just being rekindled. Because the relationship between your mind and your heart exists since the moment you were created. Because they've actually never truly been divided. The mind and the heart have always been in union. It's just that we live on a planet that somehow perpetuates a dream of division. But because oneness is the truth of all, the dream of division can be fully seen through and remembered as the dream you are now waking up from. And we join together, the mind and the heart, where we have the wisdom of awakening, informing us what may be the greatest possibility for growth, healing, and expansion. And we equally have the intuition of the heart, informing us of our emotional needs and what needs to be felt and seen within us on an emotional level. And isn't actually that the part of our experience that we have been trained to neglect? We have been trained to neglect the innocence of the heart. We have been trained to neglect how we feel. We have been trained to neglect our emotional needs. We have been trained to outsmart our fears and anxieties rather than fully feel and face them to completion. And in doing so, we are withholding presence and attention from our beloved heart. And then our heart is like a neglected child. And that is why we are so heartbroken all the time. And that is one of the reasons why we can feel so heartbroken by the world. Where yes, what happens in the world, what happens on the outside can truly be heartbreaking sometimes. But in truth, when we feel heartbreak, we are simply being reminded of the heartbreak that's always been within us. And the heartbreak that's always been within us is caused by the love and attention and presence we withhold from our heart, from the infinite power of our heart, from the emotional needs of our heart. And so let's say this healing mantra together. Please repeat after me. May my heart no longer be a neglected child that is starving for attention. May it simply be my own pure innocence that is being celebrated in every step I take, in every breath, in every moment. And may I dedicate my life to celebrating the beautiful innocence and purity of my heart, no longer hiding within or behind my mind. For to hide is to perpetuate the cycle of neglecting the heart. But I deserve far better. My heart deserves far better. I love you. I see you. I'm here with you. I love you. I see you. I'm here with you. Now, as we do this and as we reconnect with the heart, what you may actually feel are uncomfortable sensations within the heart, which are the layers of neglect, sometimes pain and heartbreak, that are being revealed and healed within it. And so, whatever you are feeling, it is the exact experience that is right for you and the experience that you are meant to have. And it's not wrong. And if paying attention to your heart hurts, that's okay. If paying attention to your heart is uncomfortable, that's okay. And I'm here with you. And I love you. And I'm here with you through it. And you're going to be okay. Because when your heart is breaking, it is only breaking open. When your heart is opening up, it is breaking through the shell. And the shell needs to be cracked. And the cracking of that shell can be quite painful. And I understand. The heartache we sometimes feel can be insufferable. But may we no longer use that as a reason or an excuse to hide. Because we are here for our hearts. We are present with them. We love them. We can pay attention to them. And when we withhold attention from the heart, we are simply breaking our own heart. To hell with the world. The world doesn't need to break our heart anymore. We are doing its job for it. But that's not your job. Your job is not to break your own heart. Oh, it's so not your job. Your job is to follow the purity and innocence of it. Your job is to love your heart, not break it. Please, beautiful one, do not break your own heart. That's other people's job. That's other people's job. Let them do it. They know what they're doing. They're very good at it, aren't they? The world is so talented at breaking our hearts. It's ridiculous. It's wonderful. Like the world should win an Olympic medal in heartbreak. But your job is not to compete with it. That's not your competition. That is not what we are doing. We don't have to compete with the heartbreak of the world or with the heartbreaking world. That's not your job. That's not what you came here to do. You came here to love your heart, to give attention to your heart, to embrace your heart, to cherish your heart, to follow your heart. That is what you came here to do. And so, in the name of that, please repeat after me. May I break my heart no longer. And when my heart is broken, may I love it. May I give my presence to it. May I give attention to it. And may I no longer compete with the world, which is simply the divine, dressed up as other people, places, and things, whose job is to break my heart open. My job is to soothe my heartbreak with love and care. And may I no longer hide from the potential of heartbreak, fully knowing that when my heart is being broken, it is only being broken open. And the sensation of remembering the openness of my heart is pain. And that's okay. You are here to love yourself through the pain of heartbreak, not avoid it in any way. For to try and avoid the pain of heartbreak is to live with a closed off heart. But that's not what you need. That's not what this world needs. That's not what we came here to do. We came here to live in full capacity, which is an open heart, a dancing heart, a singing heart. And if the path towards that is heartbreak, where your heart is being opened, broken open, broken. If the path towards open heart is heartbreak, so be it. You are going to be okay. Because after each moment of pain and discomfort, there is a next moment within which you are fully okay and more open and healed than ever before. And so whenever you are in a moment of pain or moment of heartbreak, simply remember, this moment is not the last moment. There will be more moments of relief and wholeness. And so it's okay that I feel pain right now. I don't have to try to escape it. Because the more I try to escape my pain, the further I am pushing the moment of relief away. And so may your heart be healed through the heartbreak, by the heartbreak. For to live with an open heart is the intention, the highest you made when you incarnated into form. And it is simultaneously that which will set you free from endless cycles of samsara, karma, and suffering. It is the willingness to live with an open heart. And we are ready to step into the full openness of your beautiful divine heart. And as we say all this, there still may be discomfort, there still may be pain, but it's almost this inner Buddha smile within the heart. The heart starts smiling the moment we declare that we are committed to its openness, committed to its innocence, committed to its purity. Your heart smiles, for you are honoring its purpose to dance as the light you are in form, as never before that you are now. And so it is. That's it for today's transmission. Please register for the Sunday event. The healing and expansion we will go through will be quite miraculous. I can assure you of that. Registration by donation. If you can't afford to pay, you don't have to. So, thank you so much for sharing these moments with me. And from my heart to yours, all my love to you. Namaste.